All right, so we are talking about chapter 1A here. Um, the vocabulary is listed here below, so we can scroll down and see that in a minute. But here's the matching for it, and it's basically fill in the blank since I don't have the matching set up. Se usa para iluminar cuando no hay mucha luz. That's a linterna. Pardon my horrible handwriting. Linterna, okay. And then I've got, si estás en la montaña y viene una tormenta, puedes ir a uno. Uno gives us a hint, and the answer is refugio. Un intervalo del tiempo or de tiempo es un rato. And the next one, no encontrar el camino. If you can't find the road, then you are lost. So, perderse. And lo que usas para buscar al norte, that would be a brújula, compass. Cuando sale el sol por la mañana, when the sun comes out for the day, that's amanecer. And when the sun goes away for the afternoon, that is anochecer. Ocurrir means to occur. Another word from the vocabulary for that is suceder. All right, moving right along. Okay, this is the chapter vocabulary. Okay, sorry, dude. This is the chapter vocabulary. And then we're going to come right over here to the irregular verbs section. You need to know what all the following verbs mean and how to conjugate them. Now let me pull up a picture for this part. All right, so what we are looking at here is the preterite form of verbs. We've got our regular preterite endings right there. Then we've got our ir, ser, dar, and ver. Those all end in I in the yo form. And they do not have any accents anywhere, as you can clearly see. Next up, I've got, so big important thing here. This will be on your test, and if you get it wrong, it'll mess up your answer. So make sure you know what you're talking about there. Moving on. We've got the irregular preterite verbs. So ir, ser, dar, and ver aren't actually called irregular preterite verbs, but they are. But here's the little set here. They're all going to follow this chart right here. Iste, o, imos, istes, ieron, and you see that there are no accents. All right, so you've got tuv, anduv, estuv, puth, pus, sup, vin, dich, trach, and is. Back to what they mean. Tuv means to have, so that's had. Anduv is went, like for a walk. Estuv means was, as in location or condition. Pud means could. Pus means put. Sup means new. Vin means came. Dich means said or told. Trach means brought. And is means did or made. Now, these three at the end are a little bit wonky. So I've got these two with the J's in their stems are going to have J's in their ending instead of that I right there. So they're just going to say D-I-J-E-R-O-N instead of I-E-R-O-N. And then H-I-C for hice, hiciste, hicimos, histes. Hicieron, hiciste, sorry. In the L-A and usted form, it's going to be hizo. Reason for that being that if there was an O after it, would it be pronounced eco, which would be weird. So that is that. Now I've got my I to Y verbs, and they only change in the bottom boxes, which is the LA en usted form and the ellos, ellas, ustedes form. So I to Y verbs, you're going to take the basically UIR ending And instead of it saying, for example, destruyo, that's too many vowels basically. So we're just going to change that I to a Y. Destruyo. And it's destruyo. Sorry about that accent. It needs. So that's all that does there. Just going to change the I to Y there. The rest of them, it isn't a problem because there are other consonants that come into play. Destruir just ends right there. So the 1, 2 vowels are not a problem, but when we get 3, we need to change that I to a Y. So that's all that's going on there. Now we've got our stem changing verbs, which is the last of the irregular preterite. These only change in the bottom boxes as well. So, first question you need to ask yourself is it an IR verb? If it's not an IR verb, it's not a stem changer. If it is an IR verb, the next question you say is it a stem changing in the present tense? An example of that is preferir. Since it is, and by the way, it'll call itself an E to I. There's only 2 kinds in the past tense, the preterite, excuse me. We've got E to I and O to U. So, preferir in the yo form, regular yo form, looks like this. Let's see. Go away. Consonant vowels. Ugh. All right. Prefiero. So that is a stem changer because preferir changes to I to E in the stem in the present tense. So it is an IR verb. It ends in ir, and it is a stem changer. So in the preterite, it's going to look like this: prefirieron. It gets that I right there. All right. All right. So the last thing here is be familiar with Kargar and Tsar, and they go K, gay, and say. The oh my goodness. The car verbs become K in the yo form only. The gar verbs become gay in the yo form only. And the zar verbs become say in the yo form only. So let's do some practice here. Use the following verb blank to complete the sentences below. Que blank cuando vieron el oso tan grande en la sierra. So we obviously know that the subject is ustedes or ellos es because the verb here ends in the ellos es ustedes form. So since we know that our answer is either going to be H or I or E or J. So what did y'all prefer when you saw the big bear on the mountain? What did y'all do when you saw the big bear on the mountain? What did y'all find refuge when you saw the big bear on the mountain? Or what did y'all hear when you saw the big bear on the mountain? The one that makes the most sense is what did y'all do? So our answer here was I. All right. All right, so now I've got the rest of these left. Now I've just used that one. Now nos llevó una hora subir la montaña, pero blank ver un paisaje muy hermoso. So it's the nosotros form. It took us an hour. So the only one left is pudimos. So pudimos ver el paisaje tan hermoso. All right, next up. Se asustaron cuando blank los truenos durante la tormenta. What do you do with thunder, but hear it? So that would be J. Cuando blanca llover, what does it do with rain? It begins to rain. So this is really, even though it's supposed to be about irregular preterite, it actually ends up being more about vocabulary. As long as you know your vocabulary and as long as you know your endings that go with the verbs, traditionally the yo form is usually going to end in an E. Every once in a while it'll end in an I. But if you can remember that, then that will definitely help you get the right answer on the test. All right, anoche ellos blank en la tienda de acampar porque empezó a llover. So ellos se refugiaron because the other thing is They preferred in the tent. That doesn't make sense. So our answer there is E. Yo blank al fútbol al amanecer el sábado pasado. I most likely played football. Saw also works, but when you get to a later one, you'll see that saw is the only right answer for that. So we're going to say jugué. And the next one, too, blank al oso muy lentamente. There's only 1, 2 form. So that's a lucky number, letter K. No blank el relámpago. What do you do with thunder? Dang it. What do you do with lightning? You see it. Yo vi el relámpago. Le pregunté a la guía. I asked the guide where the bathroom was, but she didn't fall asleep. She didn't know. She didn't. That's it. So she didn't fall asleep or she didn't know? She didn't know. So the answer is G. Mi amigo Jaime something in front of the fire because he was very tired. Did he sleep or did they preferred? He fell asleep. So that one's B, which leaves us with preferred, but I'm always going to check my answer. We wanted to go up the mountain, but our parents preferred to stay at the campsite. And that's it there. So that's the end of chapter 1A. Obviously, knowing the vocabulary would be good. This actually is the chapter that has the largest vocabulary section on the final, so it is good vocabulary to pay attention to. And definitely be familiar with these verb endings that we got going on. That's it.